Hello.
It's all about Ghanaian languages. It's all about Ghanaian languages. It's all about Ghanaian languages.
Hello guys, welcome once again to Huniah-Yourhighness TV, and today, like I told you, we are still at Takoradi, and we've previously learned the third part of the Ga alphabet series, and today we shall be looking at dialect and dialectization in the Ga language. Alright, so I made you understand that I do travel videos and all that, so right now I'll be bringing you some travel videos. I'll be climbing the Afajato very soon, going to some interesting places, and I'll be sharing with you in the subsequent days. Okay, and I made it clear to you that if in case you are coming down to the country and you want someone to travel with, someone to take you around, maybe a tour guide or something, you can just let me know and I'll gladly take you around for no fee. The only catch to it that what do? You just, what's the name, take care of my transportation and feeding where necessary, because if maybe the transportation, maybe we go somewhere and you are eating, I can't sit down watching you eat. No, it won't happen. So that's it. And then maybe when we are back, and then you just give a small token, any token from your heart, that's it. And like I made it clear, my number is on the screen. If you wish to have private lessons, if you wish for me to teach you personally, just contact me. If you want translation services in Ghanaian languages, not only Ga-Dangme, Tree, Chrepo, and other Ghanaian languages, let me know. I do them. I don't only teach Ga, I teach Ga-Dangme, Tree, Chrepo, and other Ghanaian languages. So if you have any issue, let me know. Alright. So you can take my WhatsApp number or my email. You can contact me on either of them. I'm very active online. Alright. Also, I'm on Facebook, Huniah-Tete. Okay, so today we are looking at dialect and dialectization. You want to understand the concept of dialects in the, but I would narrow it down to maybe African languages to help you understand much better, since this channel is focused on the Ga and the Dangme languages. So I may break it down to the Ghanaian language stream or the Ghanaian language talk. So what is a dialect? A dialect is basically a daughter language of a particular language or a particular dominant language. What do I mean? There is a language which is very dominant, and then a small group of people start speaking a different type of that dominant language or that mother language. I don't know if you get this picture. So maybe there's a family of 10 people. They all speak one language. Then just one says, okay, I want to change the way we speak, and she gives birth and starts the changes she has made to her language. She teaches her children, so it becomes a dialect of the primary language or the first language or the initial language or the original language. But let's see what I checked online. Also, I want to see what the online, I'm going to use Meta AI, what it also has to say about dialectization. So let's read. Okay, so AI says dialectization is the process of a language splitting into distinct dialects. Pardon the noise. Okay, I'm at a hotel, I'm not at home, so yeah. Into distinct dialects, often due to geographical, social, or cultural factors. So let me break it down so that you can understand it. So it means the process where a language splits into distinct dialects. Maybe let's take Accra. Everybody speaking Ga in Accra. Then all of a sudden there are 7 major communities in Accra. The Nungwa, Tema, Bon, La, and Co. Maybe the people of La, all of a sudden start creating words which is only peculiar to them, and then They're the only people who understand those words, and it changes the languages over time. And they keep passing it down. It becomes a dialect. So they will not say they are speaking Ghanaian, they will say they are speaking the La Gan dialect. So they'll call it La, the Gan of the La people. Meanwhile, it is still Gan, but it's just the Gan of the La people. Hope you get it. Okay. And it's usually due to geographical fact. When you say geography or geographical, where you are. So maybe I speak English, okay, from the United States, and then I've migrated to Ghana. And in Ghana, everybody is speaking Akan, Ga, and I start learning Akan and Ga. So the type of English I will speak, I will be blending in with the Akan and Ga, and I keep passing down to my children. So they'll also learn the English that way, and it becomes a dialect of English because it is not the actual English. It is a different type of the English, which still was born out of English. A typical example is the Afrikaans language. Afrikaans is Dutch, but it's a different type of Dutch spoken by the people of South Africa. So no matter what, all Afrikaans speakers can still understand Dutch spoken in Holland. They can understand Frisian because Frisian and Dutch are very closely related. But Afrikaans will still look different because it is a dialect of the Dutch language. I hope you get it. So let's take even the Ga language itself. The Ga language has dialect. The Nungwa people speak a dialect of the Ga language, meaning that the Nungwa people, when we say dialect, it means it's peculiar. It's only limited to a specific group of people. So the Nungwa people speak Ga, but the Ga is a little different from the actual Ga everyone speaks, or the actual Ga that everyone knows. When you go to Teshin, okay, it will change a bit. Now let's take even the Akan language. We have Fanti. Fanti is a dialect of Akan. Please get the English word. Akan. Fanti is a dialect of Akan, not a dialect of Twi. Fanti is a dialect of Akan. Twi is a dialect of Akan. Okay. So now, if Fanti is a dialect of Akan, we can say Fanti is a language on its own. If Twi is a dialect of Akan, we can say Twi is a language on its own. The Fanti language itself has dialects. So we have the Gomwa dialect, the Mankesim dialect, the Tadi dialect. Hope you are getting it. Then when you go to the Twi, even the Twi itself being a language on its own because it came from Akan, it also has dialects. You have the Equiapin Twi dialect, Asante Twi dialect, Bono Twi dialect, and even the Bono Twi, okay, which is majorly known. The Bono Twi itself, we have communities that speak dialect of the Bono Twi. So that is where the difference between a language and a dialect comes in. Language is broad. Okay, it's for a group of people. It identifies a big group of people, but dialect is just a small group of people. So we've understood the geography. So maybe let's take town A, town B, town C. Maybe town A is speaking Ga, town B is speaking Ga, town C is speaking Ga, but town A and town C, their Ga is different. Now town B being in the middle, their Ga will be a blend of C and A because those getting to there are borders. So those getting to the border of C, they will be picking from C, and then those of the B, the who borders A, they'll be picking from A. Then those in the middle of B, they're going to be different. So that's what we call dialect continuum. So let's take like maybe a country. Okay, let's come to Ghana for example. We have the Volta region, and we have Togo, we have Ivory Coast. Now let's assume Ghana is English speaking, Togo is French speaking, Ivory Coast is French speaking. Now those to the borderline, Togo Ghana border, okay, they will be speaking a mix of English and French to create a new language because they are the borderline where French is spoken and English is also spoken. So they will create their own language out of the French and then the English. Maybe they'll call it Franglish. The same way Ivory Coast, their French may also be different from the Togo French. And then those two the Ghana border, that is the Ivory Coast side, they'll also be blending in the Ivory Coast French and then the Ghana French, and it will also be a different type of Franglish. You get the whole idea. So even in Ghana, let's take the western region where Nzima is spoken. Those closer to the Baule people, the Nzima is different from those in Ghana itself. And even the Ghana Nzima, we have those close to the Ahanta people. Those are the Evalue. The Nzima is a mix of Ahanta and Nzima. So even the word Evalue means mixture. So most the Nzimas in the middle, they will tell you Evalue is not proper Nzima because it is they call it Nzima Basa Basa. Okay, because the Nzimas struggle to understand the Ahanta, and then the Evalue Nzimas have mixed the Ahanta with their Nzima, so it has also become, it's not Ahanta, it's not Nzima, it's in between. And then we have the Nzimas close to the Ivory Coast who also speak a type of Nzima which is also different from the mainland Nzima. So in Nzima they've created dialect. They have the Evalue dialect, the Nzima proper itself, the Ivorian Nzima, the Elembele. Okay, so the mainstream Nzima, they call it Jomolo. Okay, it changes. And even the Ahanta itself, it changes. There are those who have more fancy in their Ahanta than others. Let's come down to a Futu land just closer to Accra. We have the Winneba people, they speak Efutu, but they are more closer to Mankesim. Okay, that's a Kunfi Mankesim area. So their Efutu is more fancy, they have more fancy in it. Then we have the Senya people. Their Efutu is very different. It has less fancy, more Guan, less Ga. And we have the Awutu, they have more Ga in their language, but it's still a Futu. But when you get to the Awutu land, it changes. The Futus, the Senya people will tell you that Awutu language is very difficult because it has more Ga and more Latte in it. The Awutu people will tell you Senya, the Futu is easy for them because it's super easy. Then they will tell you Winneba is not Futu, it's fancy because they don't even know what they are speaking. You get it. Even in the Ghana land, the Dangbe, okay, we have the Adan people, they have blended it with Ewe. We have the Krobo people, theirs look more like Ghana, but with some Akan touch here and there, because instead of them saying Dabi, they say Debi, like Akan. Instead of them say Ongonya, you are lying, they say Obua, like Akan. When you get to Bubula, the Dangbe is also almost like Ghana. The same applies to Po. So you get a picture. So geography, where you are, determines the dialect you speak. Now we have sociological factors. Let's take a rich person and a poor person. The poor person may speak normal and may develop the local, but a rich person traveling here and there, social status, even the accent, because he or she goes outside and abroad and comes, the accent may change. So you may see some people speaking Ghana like okay mini, like they will change it. Some people say okay mini. Some people be speaking Tree. Oh, see then they try to use the English accent in speaking. Social status. Okay. Yeah. So sometimes you realize that even due to class, maybe those are the high class, they have terms they use. Those in the middle class, those in the low class. Okay. Yeah. And then we have the cultural factors. Culture. My festival may be different from your festival, even though we are all the same people. Even though Akans, but the Bunu festival is different from the Asante festival, and the Bunus will develop different vocabs to describe their culture, which may be different from the Asantes and the Fantes. The what's the name? The Fantes, okay, those at Edina, they have the Bakatue festival, and so then they are closer to the sea. So they will develop vocabs to describe the sea, maybe waves and stuff. But then maybe the bonus and stuff, they're not close to the sea, so they won't have those vocabs. So when you check even Fante, and you take the Akan. The Fantis have word like Lampado, which in Asante doesn't exist. And you get it. Yeah, like so where you are and what you do, okay, it also cause you to develop vocabs which will be different from your brother. Let's say the British and then the Americans. The British, okay, may have maybe autumn. The Americans will say fall, but it's still the same thing. Maybe the British may say what? Garden egg, because that's how they say it. Then the Americans will say eggplant. Changes. The British will say rubbish. The Americans will say trash. Even in Ghana, we speak British English, but even the Ghanaian British English is also different from the actual British English. Ghanaians won't say in it, but then the British will say in it. So it goes that way. Even Spanish, platicar by the Mexicans, but those in Spain won't say platicar. What's platicar? Este platicando contigo? No. Estoy hablando contigo. Then you are speaking traditional Spanish, so you get it. Even when you check Arabic, it varies. And guess what? Even sign language, there are changes in it. The sign language spoken in Ghana is different from the sign language spoken in Burkina Faso. So it keeps changing. So no language is the same. When you move a little bit, it changes. So that's why we say dialect continue. Even when you check the Accra Plain or the Greater Accra Plain, it is a dialect continuum starting from Adan up to Gamashi. It is the same Ga-Dangme language, but it changes bit by bit till it gets to Gamashi. So the Dangme at Adan will change a little bit when it gets to Ningo. Then it's still changing to Guglan. Then it's changing to Pong. Then it's changing to Tema. Then before it to become Gan, then it's going. So, and even when you take West Africa, all the languages spoken in West Africa are related. All Kwa languages. The fact that the Gans will say aye doesn't mean the Yoruba ashe is different from the Gan aye. It's still the same thing. The fact that the Gans will say ete, and then the Buems of the Otuji will say ete, doesn't make it different from the Yoruba ita. It doesn't make it different. It's the same three. The fact that the Fantis will say ebasa is not different from the Ekriapim ebiesa. And it's not different from the Asante tree miensa. Hope you get it. Even when you take the Guan, the Efutus will say esa, the Chirepons will say asa, the Lattes will say sa. Then Chumbus also say asa, the Gunyas will say esha, but it's still three. It keeps changing. The Zimas also say inza, but it's still three. So I hope you get the whole concept of dialectization. So how do dialect impact languages? Dialect impact languages. For example, let's take Ga and Dangme. The fact that Ga and Dangme were one language and by the time they broke up doesn't mean there's a word we call syntax. Syntax means the grammar. Doesn't mean the grammar in Ga and Dangme are the same, because Ga grammar is more Akan and Dangme grammar is more Ewe. So for example, the Dangbes may be I am eating. The Dangbes will mimic the Ewe. Mele nu dum ingeniye I am food eating. Look at Dangbe, I am food eating. Ewe to I am food eating, because Dangbes and Ewes are very close. But the Gans will mimic the Fanti. Me didi, me yeni. Me waga and Dangbe are originally one language which broke up. But now see, Dangbe syntax is not different from the Gan syntax. I hope you get it. Even now, I am going to eat. I'm gonna eat. Hope you are getting it. Yeah, there's a lot more. If you have questions, do what to drop it in the comment box below. I'll be glad to explain. Expect the video on vocabularies on religion in Ghan tradition. I'll be bringing it to you shortly. And without much I say, Nyayi wala don Nyachumio. Me that one I say.
It's Genesis on the beat.